Sir, did you pay for those items?
Yes, I paid at the counter.
Can I see your receipt?
Sure. Here.
There was a complaint about someone matching your description, leaving without paying.
What do you mean by that?
People like you come in here looking for trouble. We can't take chances.
Officer, is this racial profiling? I don't understand.
Friday afternoon, August 14th, 2023. Just before 3 o'clock. Outside the Northridge Plaza shopping mall. The Bodycam clicks on as the officer approaches the main entrance. A man in his late 60s exits through the sliding glass doors. He's wearing a dark green hoodie and blue jeans. He's carrying 2 white shopping bags, one in each hand. The officer's boots scrape against the pavement as he angles toward him. Behind them, a shopping cart rattles. A car door slams somewhere in the lot. The automatic doors hiss open, then closed again. The officer speaks first. "Sir, did you pay for those items?" Within the next few minutes, this routine stop will turn into something that costs the city hundreds of thousands of dollars. Before we go any further, if you're watching this, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss breakdowns like this, and drop a comment letting us know where in the world you're watching from. The man stops mid-stride. He turns around. His face shows no alarm, just mild confusion. "Yeah, I did, at the counter." "Can I see your receipt?" "Yeah, sure." He doesn't argue, doesn't hesitate. He shifts both bags to his left hand, reaches into his pocket, and pulls out a folded piece of paper. He hands it over. The camera tilts down. The receipt is clearly visible. There's a store logo at the top. The timestamp reads 2:41, 6 minutes ago. The total comes to just over $43, paid by debit. The officer holds it, reads it. 8 seconds pass. "There was a complaint about someone matching your description leaving without paying." The man's expression changes, not anger, something closer to recognition. "What do you mean by that?" "People like you coming in here looking for trouble. We can't take chances." The man's shoulders drop slightly. His voice stays even, but there's weight in it now. "Officer, are you racially profiling me?" The officer doesn't answer the question. "I'm doing my job. You need to cooperate." "I am cooperating. I gave you my receipt. Everything you see here is on that receipt." The camera shifts as the officer adjusts his stance. 2 people exit the store behind them. A white woman with a shopping cart, a Hispanic man with a single bag. Neither is stopped. Neither is questioned. They walk past without slowing. The man notices. His eyes track them for a second, then return to the officer. The receipt doesn't prove anything. Could be from earlier. Could be someone else's. It's time-stamped 6 minutes ago. My card, my name's on the account. I still need to verify. The man shifts his weight. Takes a half step to the right. "You just verified it. I need to go." The officer sidesteps, blocks his path. No physical contact, just positioning. "You're not going anywhere until we clear this up." "Clear what up? I showed you proof. You're blocking me from leaving." "I'm asking you to come back inside so we can search those bags and talk to the store manager." "Search the bags? For what? Everything I have is on that receipt." "You're acting suspicious. That's enough." The man exhales, shakes his head once. "I'm acting suspicious because I'm asking why I'm being stopped after providing proof of purchase?" Silence. The officer says nothing. The camera stays on the man's face. "Officer, listen to me. You can check the store cameras before you make a mistake you can't undo." He's offering a solution. Verifiable evidence. CCTV footage that would take 2 minutes to review. At this moment, the fastest way to clear everything is being ignored. The officer's response: "I don't need to check cameras. I need you to comply." Comply with what? An illegal search? Another shopper exits. White male, mid-40s, cargo shorts. He's holding 3 bags. He walks directly to his car. No eye contact from the officer. The man watches him go. "You see that? You're not stopping them. They're not the ones matching the description." "What description?" "Black male, green jacket, shopping bags."
A few more seconds pass. The man stands there, both hands still holding the plastic bags. The officer's posture hasn't changed. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. The man's posture stiffens. You're arresting me? You're being detained pending investigation. For what crime? Suspicion of theft. I showed you the receipt. Turn around now. The man doesn't move immediately. His breathing is audible on the microphone. His hands tighten on the plastic bags. When he speaks again, his voice is lower, controlled. I'm not resisting, but I need you to understand you're making a serious mistake. Last warning. The man slowly sets both bags on the pavement. He straightens, puts his hands behind his back without further argument. The metallic click of handcuffs. A small crowd has gathered. A woman in a yellow blouse holds up her phone. She's recording. A teenager on a skateboard stops to watch. A store employee stands just inside the glass doors, arms crossed. I'm a retired federal agent, 26 years with the FBI. You need to check those cameras.
The officer doesn't respond. He just guides the man by the arm toward the patrol car parked in the fire lane. The shopping bags stay on the ground where he left them. About half an hour later, a supervising officer arrives. Store management is asked to pull surveillance footage. The request takes 4 minutes to fulfill. The footage is clear, high definition, multiple angles. At 2:39, the man enters the store. He walks directly to the grocery section, selects 6 items: cereal, canned goods, bread, detergent, paper towels. His movements are methodical, unhurried. He doesn't look over his shoulder, doesn't glance around nervously. At 2:41, he approaches the register, places the items on the belt. The cashier scans each one. The register screen is visible on camera. The total matches, just over $43. The man inserts his debit card. Transaction approved. He takes the receipt, bags the items himself, exits through the main entrance. No theft, no concealment, no suspicious behavior. The store manager is asked if anyone called in a complaint. No, we didn't call you. Nobody reported anything stolen today. Dispatch logs confirm it. No call from the store. No report matching that description. No complaint at all. The man is released at 4:45 in the afternoon, 2 hours after the arrest. No charges, no citation, no apology. He's returned to the mall parking lot. His bags are returned, items intact, receipt still in his pocket. 3 days later, he files a formal federal civil rights lawsuit, arguing that he was detained without cause, profiled because of his race, and arrested despite clear proof he committed no crime. Discovery includes the Bodycam footage, the CCTV recordings, dispatch logs, and internal reports. Depositions are scheduled. The officer maintains the stop was justified. No documentation supports that claim. On March 6, 2024, the case settles before trial. $750,000 paid to the man. The officer is terminated. No admission of wrongdoing. Just a check and a termination notice. No criminal charges are filed against the man. The footage is released for public training use. The man declines interviews. His attorney releases one statement. I spent my career upholding the law. I never thought I'd be treated like a criminal for buying groceries. This wasn't a high-speed chase. No weapons, no violence. Just a man, a receipt, and an officer who decided proof wasn't enough. If the receipt didn't matter, what did? If CCTV wasn't checked, what was the officer relying on? If 2 other shoppers walked past unchallenged, what made this man different? If this had been someone without a receipt, without a badge in their past, without the money or knowledge to fight back, how do you think this would have ended? The officer said he was doing his job. The courts disagreed. The city paid. The man walked free. But the 2 hours he spent in handcuffs don't come back. This footage is now used in police academies nationwide. It's studied as a case of escalation failure, implicit bias, and the cost of ignoring evidence. But the bigger question isn't what the officer did wrong. It's what would have happened if there were no cameras, no receipt, no lawsuit, no settlement. Would anyone have believed him? This is body cam analysis, not commentary. Just the footage, the facts, and the questions nobody wants to answer.